Just to get us started, let me just ask, just talk to us about what you believe the benefits of such an initiative are. Speaking to offline, you were talking about the investments that you have to make, not just in terms of resources but time to make this thing happen. What is the benefit for a team like TS Galaxy and for South African football in general?
Yeah, look, the benefit from this project definitely it's far-reaching beyond the borders of Mpumalanga province, but I would say to the entire country and the continent at large, by the way. As for South African football, this is about the advancement of our game in many ways. The one most important of which is to showcase ourselves to the world, showcase our capability, showcase our talent, because as South African football, we have been blessed for many years with one thing that is a scarcity in Europe: talent. Our football players, girls and boys, for some reason, they're just born with this skill. But obviously we lack development, we lack infrastructure. Then it would take initiatives like this to bring our counterparts from top European leagues to come here to realize what we have or we don't have, cooperate with them, form these partnerships that will last us, I think, for the longer periods, and then in between, perfect our game by working on our infrastructure, working on our talent. For instance, in this case, our TS Galaxy Under-15s will have the opportunity now to play in the biggest Under-15 tournament in the world, which is hosted by FC Augsburg. And then for the broader continent, it will be for the first time today. It's a day in history where Younger SC will play a German Bundesliga Cup. When would have that happened had it not been for this initiative? So we are extending the benefits not only to ourselves. I could have kept Augsburg to TS Galaxy. You know, we through the TS Galaxy Foundation, we are the hosts, and the organizers. But then we realize that if Africa could be given ample opportunity, you know, a lot could happen for the betterment of our game, and of course for the recognition, you know, in many European countries and the world. So Younger will play FC Augsburg. No one would have imagined that happening. And Babane Swallows will play a match in the presence of obviously FC Augsburg, and there will be good exposure. But they will also learn, you know, from the workings of these our German counterparts. I'm sure we all agree that their standards are quite high. They don't compromise on anything. We conceptualized this project early in the year. They came here 4 times for inspection in loco, as we call it in law, and they sent, you know, the head of green, and then thereafter, and now recently, in the last 3 weeks, there are 3 groundsmen have been here working on the pitch in cooperation with our team. So you can see that they're very serious, and the German precision. We couldn't have found any better partner for this kind of a project, more especially when we're talking advancement of our game as South African football and as football in the continent.
So Chairman, this must have cost obviously a fortune. Are you able to share with us perhaps the figures that we're talking about, because that's a huge project?
Well, it won't necessarily be me spelling out the numbers. Yes, we've spent, and you know, there are certain things that are priceless. You'll do it. Yeah. For the country, for the benefit of the country, for the benefit of the African child. So money doesn't matter. It costs a lot to bring FC Augsburg here. You know, millions in rands, and certainly a lot of thousands in euros. But then also to make sure that their well-being is catered for, we've taken this whole hotel, their traveling contingent of 65, to bring Younger here, make sure that catered for our counterparts in Swaziland. You know, these are things that as TS Galaxy do them anyway. You know, money is not an issue as long as we make a difference. We didn't come, you know, we're not an accidental happening to the game. We're here to, as TS Galaxy, to make a difference, you know, with the little that we have or we don't have. But we will make a difference. I mean, there are many things, projects that we've started. We have sent a lot of trends. We speak now 3 of our sister clubs are in Europe. I'm talking Orlando Pirates, Sundowns, and Kaizer Chiefs. But obviously, we started with TS Galaxy. We were the first club ever in South Africa to hold a training base in Europe. I know that members of the media are scared to talk about this, but it's the truth. And yes, that's the truth. None of you was mentioning it, but that's the absolute truth. Let's be honest. But I did say, when I saw Orlando Pirates and Sundowns following on our shoes, after we've been criticized by the same media and many others, yes, after we've been criticized why we're doing this, and some other experts, yeah, they won't survive, they can't cope, the conditions are and all kind of things. I did say when I saw Pirates and Sundowns going to Europe that I'm very proud, because South African football will benefit. And you'll agree with me. They went, they came, they looked very different. Pirates just took the next notch, in their game. Sundowns had always been there, but they looked even better than what they were. So these are the things. They went to Netherlands, they played top opposition, they won the games. Pirates did the same thing in Spain. And then in January this year, we went back in Europe as TS Galaxy. Again, you saw we beat clubs from top European leagues, highly respected leagues, who were somewhat qualified for the group stages of the Champions League and all that. We beat them by wide scores of 5-0, 5-1, 4. And you'll agree with me that we came back, our game hit the next level, So can you imagine now, if 16 of the top league, clubs in our top league would have the opportunities like this, what will it then do to the game? There will be fast improvement. I'm not only talking the playing side, but then many other things. We played SC Sampdoria of Italy. We got there thinking that we are well armed with our one analyst, only to find Sampdoria came with 12 analysts. Oh, okay. And then our young management, as you know, are very youth-driven club. Management at TS Galaxy is 24 and below. Had the opportunity of interacting and dealing at FIFA, getting the categorization and endorsement of the match, because when we go to Europe, we don't just play friendlies and systems, we play categorized FIFA international matches, which will have a bearing to the World Cup ranking. So FIFA will communicate with SAFA, will secure the endorsement. SAFA, they will send it to Zurich, then they will communicate with CAF, will get the endorsement, then FIFA referees are sent. So that is not a casual affair. Now, if 16 of our clubs would have the same kind of opportunity, our game will take to the next level. And I can rest assure you, many of our sister clubs will follow. We started this, they will follow. And I would urge them to do it. I will engage with various chairmen and say, if you don't know how to do it, I'm here, I will assist. If resources are an issue, where we can, we'll do our best as TS Galaxy to assist our sister club, to make sure that they also get the experience. I want Golden Arrows in Europe, for example. I want them there. And I'll see to it that it happens. And many other of our, call it mid-table kind of clubs. It cannot just be about TS Galaxy, Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns. I want everyone. I want it cheaper, United in Europe. I'll see to it, and I'll make it happen. Well, they're there already. Kaizer Chiefs are there, proudly so. I'm proud about that. And I'll see to it that it happens. Why? For South African football, we want a proper product. So the culmination of this effort will be a proper product that we can then sell to the world. It cannot only be about us buying the rights from the German Bundesliga. We want Europe to also buy from us. This could be achieved in the fullness of time if we work towards it, as a united front. So those who are able to do it, those who have done it, those who have got the experience like ourselves, should empower the rest of the league and just take them, everyone, give them the experience, get our game to the next level, just have a product that is marketable internationally, and the revenue of which will come and reinvest in the clubs, because they need to be stronger. It cannot be that clubs will survive on grants alone if we are serious about the game. So this is what this whole thing is all about.
Yeah. President, I also see the partnership between the club, TS Galaxy, and the government, and I'm thinking the summer in South Africa, and I think we've seen some Bundesliga clubs around that time also coming here. I think Hoffenheim have been here around that time. And listening to how you're talking about it now, do you think this becomes maybe even a standardization approach to say, between PSL clubs, and I'm also thinking of coastal areas around that, and we are talking about even helping some of your colleagues who I believe that some of them also have good relations with provincial governments.
Yeah, look, we are starting this here in the Mpumalanga province. There had never been a Mpumalanga Premiers International Cup in any manner or form until we came up with it. Right. So this therefore means that, okay, secondly, our government is new. We just had a political change. So this therefore means that certain things couldn't be afforded to us, or not much could be afforded to us for this kind of a project. But for sure, over time, once people have seen the value in it, they'll definitely come on board for sure. So as matters stand, we are doing this and we are pushing it. We have, yes, support in kind from our government, which we appreciate. At TS Galaxy, we appreciate the smallest things, as long as that it is about making a difference. We are about changing the life, the perception of and about an African child. So now, our sister clubs, those that have got the support from their governments, and I will also want them to form this kind of relationships with clubs in the top leagues in Europe. Once again, those who are not able to, I am able to assist, just to ensure that they also have. Or we could consort in some of these projects of this nature, so as to ensure that we come as a united front, you know. And absolutely, once you get into a partnership like this, the fire catches from where your partners originate. Like for instance, the German Bundesliga has been talking about Augsburg being here. The German football fraternity, their football league, which is the equivalent of the PSL, they are where they know that their club is here in Africa, in Mpumalanga. This will then cause for there to be a relationship between South African clubs and the top European clubs, and or a relationship between the leagues as well, you know, because whether we like it or not, as we speak today, Europe is still ahead of us. You know, it can be something difficult to admit, but that's the brutal truth. Therefore, we have to say, let's take every opportunity to learn whatever that we can learn from them. In this particular instance, clubs cooperating, leagues probably finding a way to working together. When I'm saying clubs, my reference is to the top teams, preferably in our own league, and the leagues also cooperate, you know, amongst themselves in facilitating projects of this nature, and or sharing information. We are always in a different market, they're in a different market, but there could be a lot of synergies, or at least things that we could learn from them and things that they could learn from us. If that is to the benefit of international football, so be it.
Tourism benefiting.
Absolutely, tourism is at the center core, of course. I'm proud to say there would be a number of German tourists coming to our beautiful province of Mpumalanga, to, you know, now more special German tourists, knowing that a club from Germany is here, from the German Bundesliga, and it not being the first and last, you know, in the next editions of this project, there will be a lot more. It's going to be an annual thing. So number of tourists, some from our neighboring states, of course. There are people from Tanzania who already flew in order to watch a historical match between their giant Younger SC and the FC Augsburg from the German Bundesliga, and of course people from the Kingdom of Eswatini are here, you know. All put together, it talks to the boost of tourism today and this weekend and next week probably in our own province.
President, many congratulations for the initiative. Indeed, I think it has brought some light into our football in this preseason. But speaking of our league, a lot has been said about whether what's going to happen for the following season. Do we have a sponsor? Don't we have a sponsor? Maybe as someone who's part of the feelings and the know-how of what's going on with the PSL, maybe you can give us some context as to where do we stand in terms of having a sponsor for the season?
Yeah, so look, personally, I'm not so much privy to the daily ongoings in our league. But then, yeah, I got to realize, probably at the same time as yourselves, as after the Super Journal and others shared information in the social media platform to say there would be a change of sponsorship. Up to date, I haven't seen any formal announcement or official announcement from the league. But look, if anything of that sort happens, I have trust and confidence in my executive. I have trust and confidence in our chairman. He has done wonderful things over many years. He has done the impossible, and I can safely say and rest assure everyone that we are in good hands. So if there's a situation, it will be salvaged for sure. We will have football next season. It's all what I can say. No doubt about it, and our league will remain more, as prestigious, if not more, than what it was. So I think as football custodians, we must hold it at this, and afford our league the opportunity to obviously organize themselves. If there would be any kind of transition, give them the opportunity to transition us into our new era with a new partner, if at all. I think that needs to be the spirit and the approach. It's easy sometimes to be hard and criticize things that we are not involved in, because the armchair is very comfortable. But when you're in it, there's a lot of impediments and challenges and still that you have to go through and overcome. So I give my league, the chairperson, the executive, utmost benefit, and I know I'm confident they will take us through whatever that needs to happen, and we will see ourselves next season in good hands, playing good football, and with good resources.
Chairman, we are on the topic of European and also African and the infusion of the two. I wanted to ask you, based on what is happening in our league, seeing that we're speaking about it, we see that the top clubs, we mentioned Sundowns, Pirates, Chiefs, TS Galaxy, Amazulu, all of these clubs have foreign coaches at the helm. What is your take on it? Are we not empowering our South African coaches by not employing them? Or is it that we're seeking that standard that you speak of by employing these European coaches?
Yeah, and also some of our coaches are moving to top clubs on the continent.
Yeah,
so that correlation.
Yeah.
So again, I'm sure members of the media haven't come out in particular on this. I was unapologetic about football education amongst our coaches. No one spoke about it. I came out. I was very clear that we're in a professional league, and therefore I would like to see in our league professional coaches. So professionalism means a person who would have attained a certain level of qualification in the area in which they profess to be experts. In the medical science, you wouldn't go for a surgery and just be operated by any person, isn't it? So therefore, in football, for our kids, our generations to be taught football at highest possible level, they will need to be trained by professionals. So this is where I was coming from. Nothing against our coaches, but instead, everything for them, in that they must go and empower themselves, they must educate themselves. I was the first one to say our young coach Rulani, I said, I acknowledged in public to say I believe there's talent there. When I saw him in maybe 2012, 2013, coaching the under-19s of Sundowns in the Bayfield tournament in Cape Town, then I spoke to the powers that be at Sundowns to say, I saw a coach of yours with the under-19s. I think he's talent and he has to be looked after. Keep a close eye. Whether that eventually resulted in him being retained at the top level as their coach, it's immaterial. But that's exactly what I saw, that's exactly what I said. So, and I went on to say, a coach like him, I would want to see him having a UEFA Pro license. And I said, I would wish Sundowns will take measures to ensure that he obtains that kind of a license. If they can't, I'll do it. Yeah, it costs 250,000. give or take. Why not? Why? Because he's got talent. We have to admit. You know, we can say all we want. In his working, I've observed the workings of Sundowns. You know, every time we have to play as TS Galaxy, Mamelodi Sundowns under his tutelage, I've always said it's an exam day for us. That's when we will be put to test as to our state of readiness into the next level or our standard in general. So it's not only him. We have many like him, maybe even better. But as football, we have to find them for starters, identify them, but give them the opportunity to educate them. So at TS Galaxy, we pay for our coaches' pages. All of them, anyone, any day, anytime. They say, you have enrolled for this, we pay. Why? Because we want our football coaches to be educated. Who ultimately benefits? The kid, the youngster who is trained on a daily basis by these people. We entrust them with our beautiful talent. Remember, my opening shot is that in South Africa we're unique. We have the talent from birth. Our players don't train to be talented. We may rave about Lamine Yamal and whatnot, but Mofokeng in Pirates does the exact, or even better, in my humble opinion, because our league is much faster than what you see in the La Liga, for example. They are slow, they've got time on the ball, they're tactical, they are very much aware. We are very fast, you know, and our game is high-paced. But then to navigate at his age the ball and decide matches, you know, like he does, he's in the exact, if not better level than Lamal of Barcelona. If you don't believe me, put them on the field together, you'll see what I'm talking about. So we have that kind of talent. But then it must be trained by the qualified people. So I was very elated subsequently when I saw SAFA coming out to prescribing a standard of coaching for our Premier Division. You know, so sometimes it's pleasing and very fulfilling when good ways don't fall to ground for nothing. You know, they fall into some fertile ground which will benefit our football. Right? So as of this season, every coach who will sit on that bench would be qualified to sit there. Not me, coming from my chair at home because I think I know, then I sit on, or anyone and everyone. No, it will be a qualified coach who meets the standard set by our own football association with the support of our own league. So I think, whatever that we came and advocated for as TS Galaxy or myself personally, now is yielding some good fruit for the benefit of the game. This is the spirit upon which all of us, even the media, we have to handle, you know, our own football. So having the European coaches coaching in our league, as long as they are highly qualified, UEFA Pro license. You know, at the time when I spoke about football education amongst our coaches, I think we're the only club that had a UEFA Pro license coach. In fact, we were 3 of them. So can you imagine, TS Galaxy is 3. Other clubs have no one. You know, and that is the highest coaching standard. I'm saying that again, talking about the European standard, which obviously is a standard, which is one of the top standards, if not the best standard in the world. I know that CAF has got a pro license. It's also a hell of a standard, you know. But then in order for a Rulani to coach in Europe, fortunately or unfortunately, must be a holder of a pro license. That's the demand. I would like to see him coaching there one day, a coach like him or any other talented coach like him. So he has taken the first step. In that, he needs our support. It's not going to be easy. I don't think for him it's going to be as smooth sailing as it was at Sundowns. You know, here you can do things the South African way. You can relate to this player and that player. You know, be very close and hold them. But players, yes, that's the truth. Players in foreign markets respond differently, more especially, you know, in our Arabic nations. Or, you know, so. But then he now will learn, obviously, to reconfigure his methods and approach of player management and coaching in the field. You can rent in a particular way to a South African player, probably it's not the same to a player, you know, in Morocco, for example. You know, but he's a sharp guy, a smart one that we have as a country, and he would adjust and he will do us proud. Coach Pito has done it, you know, and his records is there for everyone to see. So he has done us proud. So now I think we are heading towards the right direction. Our coaches are being recognized in many countries in the continent, you know, where the level of football is quite high. In Morocco, Egypt, I think is amongst the best in the continent. So they are there. Let's support them. Let's yield and produce more of such coaches. So it's something that can only happen if our coaches are educated. Falu David, I think, has done us proud. He went through, created an invincible era at his club, you know, Raja Casablanca, together with Jose and Bauer. We all know that. So now he's taking on Simba on his own accord. He's graduating from, you know, boy to man. So we have to support him. He must do us proud. So at least we're starting with this cause of having our coaches, you know, therefore it means there's something we're doing right, or there's something right about the standard of our game. So we have to be very proud of what we have and take care of it, nurture it, make sure that it's being propelled the right direction to greater heights, so that it could also be beneficial to the continent and to the world.
President, talking about coaches, Coach Siad has done extremely well with TS Galaxy. Naturally, there'll be interest. I mean, we've seen in North Africa, Morocco particularly, Raja being linked to him. Are you aware, has there been any engagement between you and him regarding that?
Yeah, no, look, when Siad Ramovic came into our shores, he had never been a head coach. I don't know if you know that. So his first job as a head coach is at TS Galaxy. So I brought him here with no record to back his success or failures in coaching. I just brought him because I could tell from where I was sitting that his talent is top. He will make a difference to our game, for sure. Then I made that when I was asked, the question was that he could be a plumber, there's no record, we are 2 points after 8 games, we are last on the log, we are relegation bound. I'm bringing someone who had never been a head coach. I was there to say, I made a statement, if you all will remember, that the arrival of Siad Ramovic will prove to be a blessing to South African football. You'll thank me later. That was in 2021, October, to be precise. So now, what has he done so far? He has taken a project from ground zero, salvaged it for us all. So today, we're sitting here with a TS Galaxy that all of us are proud of. Primarily because of his workings and contribution. Number 2, he has produced from that project players of international standard who were nowhere to be seen prior to his arrival. They were in the club, but they were of no standard or international standard. So now we pride ourselves with these players when you see Overs playing for the national team, you know, and given Melus being called up. Number 3, for a project such as TS Galaxy, through the good success from his work, we have been able to dispose of, or rather transfer and sell, 7 of our best talents that is now starting 11, the spine from goalkeeper, central defender, midfielder, centre forward, the best of the best we sold and reinvested in the project. So 7 last season. This season, as matter stand, we have sold 3, so 10 in a span of 12 months. Right? So surely, if a coach has the ability to improve what was probably ordinary players then to these kind of levels, you know, they were not transferred or sold to just any other club, but the top teams in our league, you know, 2 in Europe. So it means that this kind of a coach has made huge contribution into our project and into our football, because it's produced for us now players of international standard from a crop of players that we would ordinarily have them as international players. Right. So then it becomes a no-brainer for a coach like that to attract international standard, interest, as Siad Ramovic has done. So he's attracted Raja Casablanca. Him and I have been on this subject probably down for 5 to 6 weeks. We have been discussing it. We talk about these things. We are obviously very close, and weighing and balancing a number of things. And should the situation be such that he has to go and join Raja, then that should happen. I'll see him. I would want to believe that he will become an extension of our football, into the Moroccan market, never mind our club. From where I'm sitting, I'll give it my blessing, because I think he has walked the path from us into the big loss for the South African game. I did obviously tender him to one of our biggest clubs, Kaizer Chiefs, when they were looking for a coach, to say, they can help, because I believe he will really tender a project. They will make the Kaizer Chiefs the most formidable club. It never happened. It doesn't matter. I would have wished, that he remained locally, and more especially in a club like Kaizer Chiefs. But it didn't happen. I did say I don't know for Kaizer Chiefs. Maybe they've got a different approach. And as we know now, they've appointed a new coach, for which we all are congratulating them, and we wish them all the best. But as for Ramovic, it has become inevitable for him to attract interest from top clubs, in the continent and maybe in the world. I think one day he will be in the German Bundesliga. I know it's going to happen. You'll remember me, and you'll remember that he was with you, at your own club. So as South African football, if we can really have him, keep him here, it would have been the best scenario. But if we can't, then the man takes, greater heights for his career. Then, we'll give it our blessing, and it will be the extension of our project in us as South African football, wherever, or even if it's Morocco.
Thank you.